Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode of the BG Show. I'm here to do a spoiler review for Batman Cape Crusader Season 1, the new animated Batman show on Amazon Prime. Why is it on Amazon Prime and not HBO Max? I'm honestly not sure. I got to look into that, some contract thing. But anyway, let me get into spoilers right away. I have a non-spoiler review up if you haven't seen the show yet, so go watch that. I highly recommend the show. Getting right into spoilers, this is your last warning. I guess the main plot of the season was Two-Face, the way they handled Two-Face. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good plot. The way he kind of became Two-Face. A lot of, mob-heavy stuff in the show. The mob is very connected, which I like a lot. I think that's one of the strong parts of Batman that they should lean into is the mob, because, you're able to get, like, those Sopranos and kind of Goodfellas moments while in a Batman show, and just he obviously hates organized crime because that's who killed his parents. So I think it's a very good dynamic. So they lean into that a lot. I think I didn't think it was like a perfect Two-Face performance. I think it was certainly more realistic than the original Batman animated show. Not as cartoonish. They really lean in, and this is when Batman can get good because you have so many like little things within the characters, like Two-Face. He's Two-Face, but he has multiple personality disorder. That's why he's Two-Face, which I feel like a lot of the other, like the Tommy Lee Jones, I don't think really gets into that. And even Aaron Eckhart in Dark Knight doesn't really get into that, right? The second he becomes Two-Face, he becomes crazy, or they focus on the coin. But the real thing about Two-Face is that he has multiple personality disorder. He's half Harvey Dent, which is still a good guy, then he's half Two-Face, which is the bad guy, aka Two-Face. It's not just a physical thing. So I think they do a really good job of that. He's almost like Norman Bates, going in and out, in and out, in and out. So I thought that was really cool. The teaser at the end of the season, which I didn't mention in my non-spoiler review, is the Joker. Very similar to The Dark Knight. They show a bunch of people kind of like on laughing gas, and honestly, it looked really good. That's like the thing that looked the best about, almost the most similar to the original animated show, was the laughing gas from the Joker. So they teased the Joker for season 2, doesn't show up in season 1. I thought that was pretty interesting. Honestly, I'm getting sick of the Joker, but I guess, I think it's just a stupid route to go on because you already know Mark Hamill's not going to do it, so you're already digging yourself a hole by having a Joker who's not as good as the original, who everyone's going to compare him to. Why not just go into characters? And I know they covered them in other shows, but even some minor characters like the Clock King, a little bit more, obviously Killer Croc. You have, what's his name? Obviously Clayface. I think you can do really good stuff with Clayface. So obviously I want more Mr. Freeze stuff. So I was hoping why don't you just tease Mr. Freeze at the end instead of the Joker? But they know the Joker is going to, get people excited. Super annoying. I think that's how you spot a casual Batman fan, is what they say their favorite villain is. They say the Joker, which is what everyone says. And again, I like the Joker, but just give me more Mr. Freeze. Even give me Bane. Give me more Bane. Give me something. So yeah, that was a teaser at the end. And I think another, a good plot point. I guess going through episode by episode, it's tough to kind of spoil. I mean, the one thing that I disliked, and I know they paid it off at the end, is the way he treats Alfred. I know, like, the first thing when he called him Pennyworth, I just hated it. It was like nails on a chalkboard. I just could not take it. And I know they paid it off at the end, which I thought was obvious, which was going to happen. This is actually the one thing. This is like typical J.J. Abrams shit. And at the end, he pays it off, calls him Alfred instead of Pennyworth. I hated that. I don't want some like different take on, if you want to give different takes on Batman's suit, Batman's weapons, the Batmobile, his villains, the Wayne Manor, anything fine. Even the way Alfred looks, fat, skinny, tall, whatever, black, doesn't matter. But I don't want a Bruce Wayne or a Batman that speaks to Alfred like shit. No one is interested in that. I just think it sucked. There's like the scene in the Pattinson Batman where he does it. He treats Alfred I would say, other than not killing, the most important Batman ism is that he treats Alfred like a god, or just like his own parents at all times. And Alfred is one of the most respected characters in all of comic books. Certainly probably the most respected, like, number 2, or I guess you could say guy in the chair character. So I just hated that whole arc. I just totally unnecessary. I don't think it's interesting. The way he's yelling at him, I just think I didn't even get that. I have to rewatch it. I didn't like that. Another interesting thing is kind of the way they handled Harley Quinn. Obviously, the Joker, like I said, wasn't in the season, so they had Harley Quinn become Harley Quinn by herself, not from the Joker. And actually, she became Harley Quinn from diagnosing Batman, realizing that Batman is obsessed with these kind of villains who are kind of almost like clowns, like draw a lot of attention. And so to try to draw Batman in, she realized she had to become Harley Quinn. And honestly, some of these scenes were kind of gnarly. There were a lot of gnarly scenes throughout this show. A lot of the torture scenes were like kind of intense in a weird way. I wasn't expecting a lot of the way she was torturing people in there. And then they did the female Penguin, which a lot of people were freaking out about, which I gotta be honest, I don't give a shit. You guys are mad because they're doing a female Penguin in an animated show. I mean, we literally have a Penguin show coming out with Colin Farrell. So to say that like they're doing some, race swap bullshit, I think is disingenuous. We have the Danny DeVito Penguin. We have Burgess Meredith, the original Penguin from the Rocky movies. So I think that's kind of a stupid criticism. I thought she was good. She threw her son like in a trunk and threw him in water. So there were a lot of raw scenes throughout the show. In terms of other stuff, like I said, the voice acting is really good. There's not a whole ton to spoil other than I think the Joker scene at the end and a lot of just the Alfred stuff and the Harley Quinn stuff. I think those are the big things throughout the show. We don't get Bane. We don't get the Riddler. I don't think we get Poison Ivy. So, yeah, I mean, it was a really, really solid show. I'm really hoping for Mr. Freeze in the next season. I think Mr. Freeze will be good. We'll see if we get any kind of, Robin or any kind of, Batman side characters, Nightwing. We'll see. The 40s element is okay. I don't love it. It's okay. But I still like the show a lot. I think... I don't know if I'd watch it before the other shows. If you haven't seen the Batman animated series original, watch that. Then watch Justice League. Then watch Justice League Unlimited. Then watch Batman Beyond. And then watch Superman animated. And then there's a lot of other movies. So that's my review of the show. I think it's really, really solid. I'm just trying to think if I've forgotten any like big spoiler things. I was going to do an episode-by-episode review, but they're so short to do it that way, and then also to do it this way. There's not, I spoke about Two-Face. I spoke about Harley Quinn. I mean, those are really the big things. I think they did a good job. I liked the show. I gave it about an 8 out of 10 for season 1. So that's my spoiler review. Go watch the show. Amazon Prime. Hit subscribe if this is your first time watching my channel. Thanks, guys, for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.